are going to sign Travis Kelce to about a 1-year, $12 million deal. And it feels a little bit, Mahomes and Travis Kelce, like when Gronk went to Tampa, he was retired, and then Brady called him and said, get down here. I need my security blanket. So number one, Travis Kelce had over 800 yards. He's still really valuable. No other Chiefs target had over 600. So secondly, he's durable. He's going to give you 15-plus games a year. He doesn't run like he used to. He's had 8 or 9 or 10 surgeries. But here's the thing. What signing, and I think it's a smart move. I would have understood it if they moved off him, but for $12 million, I totally get it because he's productive and he's durable, and he's a team leader. He's kind of the soul of this organization. But the other thing it illustrates is the Chiefs have a very good GM, Brett Veach, very good. But it just shows you the number one position in the NFL, the number one most difficult position to draft in the first round is wide receiver. And so, I mean, it's just hard. Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs go out and get Xavier Worthy. He's a gadget player. They probably should have taken Ladd McConkey. He was available. Chargers got him. And then there's Rashee Rice, who just you can't depend on maturity-wise. There's Hollywood Brown, who's smallish and had injuries. And you'd ideally, you're probably saying, yeah, I'd rather not have to re-sign a 37, 38-year-old tight end. But he's your cornerstone, and you've missed on other. I mean, Sky Moore was a miss. Xavier Worthy's not a miss, but he feels like a gadget guy for a first-round guy. And it feels a little bit like the Lakers pre-Luka. That's what the Chiefs feel like now. The Lakers pre-Luka, you're like, yeah, LeBron's great, but the West is young, and a 39-year-old probably shouldn't be my star. And I kind of feel like you'd hope you could eventually move off Travis Kelce, but and people are kind of banging on the move. My take is, well, he's still productive. He's durable. He's a team leader. He's not going to get in trouble off the field. He may get engaged and married off the field to his pop superstar, but I get it. I'd bring him back too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with bringing back Kelce. It's not like he's a wide receiver that you're saying, okay, 1 more year, $45 million or something like that. Like, I don't think the price is the problem. And if you're talking about like, well, you're still trying to utilize an older tight end as a focal point. The Chiefs having a prime, the Chiefs weren't essentially a prime Travis Kelce away from being a great Super Bowl contender last season, right? Travis Kelce was in his absolute beast mode. Would they have been better for sure, but is that the difference between them winning a Super Bowl last year or not? No, not at all. So, if they're going to take care of business and build the rest of the roster out, do the rest of the things that they need to do, having a Travis Kelce at this point is an absolute complementary piece and really important. It's almost similar to what the Commanders had going on with Zach Z and Jane Daniels' first season. It's like adding, I'm going to be flipping positions here, like the Eagles adding a Darius Slay to their defense, when they were surrounded by young talent, QB Mitchell, etc. It's adding, trying to think of other decent examples of this, like it's not the defining feature, and although Kelce has been the defining feature for the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not under the impression that the Kansas City Chiefs are moving forward with the idea that Kelce is our anchor offensively, and as long as we got Kelce and Mahomes is wet. Like, that's not the situation here. It's why they went out and got Kenneth Walker. That's why they, it's reported they might be getting a wide receiver, first round, like they're looking to build that offense and just have Kelce as that addition. And if you're now going to have a Kelce as an addition, not only based off of just his talent alone, even at this point in his career, but his experience, which is obviously worth its weight in gold, and obviously his connection and relationship with not only Mahomes, but also Andy Reid, and the extension that he has on the field, in the locker room, etc. Like, those things matter tremendously. I also think it's probably pretty much understood that this is Kelce's absolute final year. And I think that's when you're going to get the most aggressive Travis Kelce, because I would say prior to that, when you're kind of up in the air, you're hamming and hawing. Yeah, you're going all in and you're, it's more of like playing each game like it's my last, because maybe it will be, but you don't really know. Now, my guess is in his absolute core of his being, in his heart of all hearts, he knows that this is truly his final season. And so, you're going to get a hyper-focused, conditioned, Allen Travis Kelce or the most he can do in this moment in time. So, like I don't see how this is bad and by any stretch of the imagination. If you were trying to just make this your focal point and your foundation and your anchor, then yes, that's for sure a problem. But like that's not what I'm anticipating or what I'm expecting at all. They're seemingly doing all the other things. They're making the appropriate trades. I have no reason to doubt their drafting abilities, and yeah, you are in a weird situation like Rice and all of that type of stuff. I think Xavier Worthy would be successful as again having being another additional piece. You know, I think Debo is at his best. If you want to talk about like gadget, like Debo can be at his best when you have KD balling, when you have Christian McCaffrey balling, when you have a great O-line and a great defense, right? Like that's when a Debo can truly rise to the occasion. Not when you have a team that's kind of a little bit of a mess, then you just slap on Debo. And well, Debo's so versatile, he'll be great for us. It's like, no, some pieces are just their synergy and their ability to really pop is a little bit more dependent on the situation itself. And that doesn't mean that it's automatically bad. Doesn't mean that they're automatically less valuable. Not everyone just automatically can just ball no matter the situation. Sometimes it's going to be a lot more, you know, situation specific, and they can then reach levels higher than maybe some of the players that are less dependent on the situation. And I'm not saying Xavier Worthy has proven one direction or the other. It's just something to, you know, something to think about. So yeah, I wasn't really aware that a lot of people were, I guess ragging on Kelce returning to KC. I mean, I see absolutely zero problems with it and I think it'll be a good listen. I don't know how much of a unifying force it will be because when you are an older player at this point, like you could say like you're a leader in this or that, but like you know that there will be plenty of young guys on KC that like we don't have care at all what Travis Kelce has to say. And that's just the way it works. Like it's just like it's cool you're married to Taylor Swift and all that. Like I don't care man, I'm 22. I'm living my life like I don't know you. You're like 14-15 years older than me. Like that you do lose your ability to be that leader, you know? So it's just like I don't even care. That's why it's like to me it's like I care more about the connection relationship with Momes and Andy like that trio because that trio is still the anchor. That trio is still the power. That trio is still the meeting of the minds of how do we get through any of the adversity that we ultimately will face throughout the course of a season. How do we get the appropriate messaging set out to everyone, right? How do we keep everyone moving forward when we just had a crushing loss by 1 in the final seconds off a 62-yard field goal or a missed extra point? Like those moments is when it kind of matters more. But kind of like the everyday like, and again there's absolutely going to be players that are going to hold Kelce up to the highest regard, right? But it's just like it is always interesting when you reach a certain point in your career when people obviously respect you and all that, but like there's such a gap that you're just kind of like, you know, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, these players, they want to get after it themselves, and not everyone wants to fall in line. Rashid Rice doesn't even want to fall in line to Patrick Mahomes. They're yelling at each other on the sidelines. Like, that to me was like, oh my gosh, like what are you doing? That was my first indication of Rashid Rice of being like, what is wrong with you right now? Like, who do you think you are talking that trash to Mahomes, right? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what is wrong with you? And it's not just like a competitive relationship where you're like, well, no, that's good because it's like no, like what are you doing? So, you know, leadership is funny. Leadership is interesting. I think to me the bona fide leader of that Chiefs team is still very much Andy Reid more than anything. I think he is still the one that commands the highest amount of respect and he's the one that players still look to as like this is the kingmaker. This is the guy that can put me in the best possible position to succeed, to win a ring, to get paid, to reinvent my career, what reached the Hall of Fame, whatever it may be. That's why Patrick Mahomes said when they asked Mahomes straight up, how long can this party go? And he goes, as long as Andy's here. As long as Andy's here. And he said that. Immediately. He said it was like there wasn't even a split second. He said it immediately. And to me, that's what matters more. And Kelce is very much an extension. Kelce and Andy have been there longer together, like they are the longest duo in that franchise right now. So that's why Kelce can slam into Reed and it not matter whatsoever. Rashid Rice can't do that. Xavier Worthy can't do that. So having someone like Kelce there I think is still important, still crucial. And as long as he's more seen as an additional piece rather than this anchor, and I still think he could be utilized very skillfully in the red zone and in obviously important key plays. I mean they Andy Mahomes and Kelce in the moments that matter most. I mean, that is still going to be one of the scariest prospects that you have when you're facing the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. 3rd and 12. Casey has to convert. You got Andy, you got Mahomes, you got Kelce. That will always feel incredibly scary. If you're at home and you're playing against the Chiefs, you're just like, oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Because they just always seemingly find a way. They always seemingly find a way. And so to have one more year of that, one final year of that makes 100% sense to me. 100% sense. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Kansas City? Have you heard a lot of people complain about this move? Like I personally haven't. So let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.